All right, good morning, traders, and welcome. Welcome to the All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. We'll go through the live order flow using Bookmap. The whole goal here is to get an edge in your trading. And how do we do that with order flow? Well, we can track and understand participants in the auction process. It is tracked via their orders, their behavior with their orders. This is the only way that you can really participate in the market. That's why order flow can give you an edge by understanding that. All right, good morning, traders, and welcome. Okay, so anyway, let's dive in here. A couple of different things to begin with. If you're new to Bookmap, and you want to get up and running with it, maybe you have the free version, or maybe you just subscribe to the global or global plus or digital plus version of Bookmap. Great. Well, this onboarding webinar today at 1 p.m. East Coast time, we'll go through how to get up and running, how to, you log into the website at bookmap.com. In the portal area there, you'll see your license key where you can download different versions of Bookmap for your platform or your operating system, and then also how to subscribe to data from Bookmap. You will need to subscribe to data and to get the data within the platform. That's how it works. It is a separate subscription. Then we'll connect that data in the platform and then get you up and running with various instruments. Okay, that is the goal of the webinar. It's about a half hour long. If you have any questions, we're happy to answer them for you at 1 p.m. Want to also show a new, show you this new course we have on supply and demand setups. Okay, it's a setups course and trading course. It's exclusively on the Bookmap Learning Center. Let me show you how you can get there. So if you go to bookmap.com and then just click on education up here, that'll take you to the Bookmap Learning Center. Here is where you can access the new course right here. Okay, just click on the link or on the image, and there you can see there's 10 different videos in here. Okay, basically 9 of them are setups and 1 is just about supply and demand in general. It's kind of a setup as well, but anyway, you can see they're very short videos that will cover many different topics in here. So for example, let's suppose you're a VWAP trader or a volume profile trader, patterns trader, where you look at specific indicators. We'll show you in this video here, the third one, how you can apply that within order flow in supply and demand in Bookmap. Okay, so we'll go over many different things. In fact, in this webinar, I want to kind of focus on one specific video, which is the low volume pullback here. I don't know if Laura's in here, but oh, she is. Okay, we will get to that. And Laura, please ask any questions, please. All right, so that is the supply and demand course setups here on the bookmap.com Learning Center under education. Get verified, please. Our Discord channel, you will need to be registered at bookmap.com. Okay, we've already gone through this many times, and if you want access to our Discord channel, so if you're new to Discord or new to our Discord server here over on Discord, you can see it here. This is the area here what you want to go to. If you're new, you will only see these two, verification and help. So you will need to verify. You can go to help here, and Dan has put together a PDF here for you, so you can understand what you're going through, or he's also got some text in here. All right, so that's the process in here. It's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. Just click the get started button here, and then you'll go through the process. You will first need to have your Bookmap subscribed email though. Okay, So you'll have to register on bookmap.com. It's free, it's simple. All you have to do is go to Bookmap, click on login here, and sign up here if you don't have any credentials yet. Okay, so that's that. All right, let's continue on here. General disclosure, we'll jump right into the order flow now. General disclosure, all Bookmap Ltd materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's jump in. Already some pretty whippy action in here. We're looking at the S&P E-mini. I've actually got VWAP on here as well. And it reset. You can see it reset here at the 9:30 cash open. So this is the VWAP for the cash session only, for you VWAP traders out there. Interesting stuff right off the bat here. Wow, big move to the downside. A lot of chop and back and forth. Another big move to the downside here. These are big moves. 57 down to 23 in just a couple minutes, and then you can see pretty big moves right back up, right back down again, and right back up. All right, so we are in this kind of trading environment. This is important to understand right off the bat. What kind of environment are we in? And starting to understand the behavior of traders within this environment. Okay? These are big moves. There's volatility. And we want to understand if we're going to be taking positions in here and putting our money at risk, we want to understand the behavior of these traders in this auction, right? So we can anticipate that kind of behavior. We can look for it. Because this is the period, the time period we are in at the moment. All right, enough said on that. Let's take a step back here first and look at the bigger picture. And we're going to look at a candlestick chart here. We have our daily over here on the left-hand side, the hourly in the middle here, and then the 15-minute here on the right. Now, this has been some really choppy and interesting order flow, in my opinion, back up above this swing right here, which we have broken out from. And you can see the breakout again here today, okay, on the 15-minute here. It's already filled the gap. It kind of started lower. It's filled the gap already, and you can see the big wick up here as well. But this is a pretty strong move on the hourly and on the 15-minute chart, and you can see the daily here. So where is this going, right? What's behind all of this? So we're going to look at that. We're going to look at the transactions. We'll look at the order flow, but just get our kind of bigger picture levels together here. Okay, so we have a gap up here on the hourly. It's actually way up here at 57.07 and a quarter or so, somewhere around up in here. Looks like the market wants to go there. But let's kind of zoom out a little bit more and get a feel for some of these. Show a few more bars in here. Okay, there we go. Some of these areas in here. Another area might be right up here. Okay, this would be at the figure, 5,600. And might be a zone up in here between, somewhere between 26 and 00. Okay, so we can look at this area in here as a potential target if we continue to see momentum. And that's a big question about if we continue to see momentum. I've noticed and mentioned, we talked about it yesterday, there's been a lot of just buying algos to just keep buying the dips. And then we get up into certain areas though, and we just don't find a lot of interest, and we get pullbacks, etc. Right? So anyway, that seems to be the environment we're in. We can see on the daily chart here, these are green candles on the daily. So let's see if we get some momentum behind it, and maybe we can explore some of these areas up in here we talked about, okay, with the gap, etc. All right. So key levels right now, yeah, I mean, on the 15-minute chart, it would be some of the swings down here. I do like this one around this swing low for the cash session here, around 27. Also lower from yesterday, back down into this kind of 55.10 level. Okay. Also, this one up here, we're right at it right now. We did not accept, at least for the moment, above this area here, right at this 53. Okay, so you can see the big wick and then the pullback here. Is it a pullback? Is there some demand in here? That's what we want to determine. Or are we going to see maybe a ton of supply and sellers drive it right back into the range here? All right, so let's zoom in here. Now, we'll stick with the S&P here, but we are open to looking at other webinars as well. Just let me know. Other webinar, I'm sorry, other instruments as well. The webinar for onboarding is later today at 1 p.m. I just want to put the link in here for you guys. Okay, over on YouTube. And also here the chat room. All right. Okay, there you guys go. Good morning, Luciano, Stephen, Alois, and others. Okay, so let's dive into this low volume pullback in here. We just kind of got the bigger picture in here. And low volume pullback, I mean, this would be it, right in here. Here it is right in front of us, Laura. Okay. Laura, you'll note, I thought about this yesterday after you inquired about it. You'll note that your 1, 2, 3 pattern that you always trade is a low volume pullback where you're entering. Okay, so your trend line break here, let's just try to demo it. Maybe we'll see it here on a small time frame. I'm actually kind of bullish here. I think we're going to trade up to this 65 here. Let me see if I can get my demo account working. Not sure if this is still working. It is. Okay. All right. Well, I just got lucky on that with a fill here. But we're seeing a lot of sellers coming in. Okay. If we see more sellers, I will just exit this. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. This here would be Laura. If we see the selling starting to come in right here, right when I kind of click the button here. This had just unfolded, right? And then I click the button, and then I got filled there. What we'd be looking for on a low volume pullback is if this is the trend line break in here. Okay, we're looking for buyers to come back up, and maybe into like a zone in here. We can start to look for specific areas here, but we're looking for buyers to come back on low volume. Okay, that's the important part here. So the price movement, yeah, it matters. We're looking for, like, not much of a retracement, but we're looking for it to occur on low buying. Okay, now you had mentioned that this is delta, and that is true. Okay, this is volume delta in here, so it could be high volume, but the delta is showing that it's low volume. Okay, I wouldn't worry about it too much. The delta is kind of key anyway. So if you see a lot of selling, up here, and then not so much buying, so there's more selling than buying, like, the delta still matters completely, like right in here. In fact, now I'd be looking for this because of this little double top in here. I look for these sellers to try to take it down to 50 here. Anyway, the volume on that pullback, we're looking at in the bars and in the dots. Okay, and we're not looking for much of a move as well. So we'll get into the details in this. This is such a good pattern to trade, especially for trend continuation. Okay, look, and we kind of missed it, this move here, but that's okay, because I want to get into the details here of it. Maybe that's more important right now than putting on positions. Look where we came back to on the pullback. Okay, and then we had a retest here on the pullback as well, and this is where we have the exhaustion. So we'll get into absorption and exhaustion, but that's not really the critical part. The critical part here is that this move here was on low buy volume. Okay, and that's what we want to understand. In fact, let's put this, take out that big selling there, and we'll look at it in here. Okay, so it's not really, to be honest, this is not really a great pattern in here for that low volume pullback. It's not bad, but it's not great. And the reason being is we want to see like very consistent selling on the way down. It's fine that it hits the high liquidity. We're just not looking for much of a reaction back out of that area here. And you can see, look at the dots, the color, and the size. Look at the volume in the bars here. These are delta bars as well. Okay, so you can see that you know, there's a little bit of buying in here. We don't want to see that. I mean, there's more selling here. Okay? Now this is a nuance in the setup. Okay, because I want to see consistent selling all the way down through. Okay, sellers moving the market, they're in control. Then they hit high liquidity, and there's maybe some profit taking, or you know, just the selling takes a break, and we get this kind of pullback, but no one's really interested. Okay, here we can see a little bit of interest here. There's more selling, but there's a bit of interest. And look where this selling took place. Okay, the majority of it, this big bar, or these big dots in here, okay, they took place down here. Okay, why that matters, instead of seeing it take place up here and then all the way through, why that matters is that this selling in here, if this is new selling, they are trapped. And we can get squeezes to the upside. The selling has taken place below where that pullback is now taking place, right? Anyway, that's a detail, an important detail. Now look at the pullback itself and where it has gone. Look at the this kind of impulse move here, okay, from the sell side down, and then it kind of went sideways here. This is the kind of you know, taking a break, and then we see another move. Here we have another pullback in here, and then actually a little double top of, you know, and then we see follow through to the downside. This little area, this consolidation area, is where the pullback came to. Okay? You will note this again and again, is that this is where the sellers dropped it and moved the market lower. This is where it came back to retest these sellers and see if there is any demand in here. Okay. Now it also offers these sellers in here, if they're really behind this move, they will probably reload. And in this case, you can see that there's high liquidity in here, or relative to this view, there is high liquidity in here. Okay, and we traded into it. And then you can see we even tried again here. Okay. We tried again here. We tried again here. Now we're not seeing any buyers, and now the sellers can come back in and continue that move to the downside. Okay, this low volume pullback, like I said, this is not the greatest example, but it's not so bad either. And the sellers now can continue the move, at least down to the bottom of the range, where you can take some off, hit a single, and then look for the next move, or you can take off some and then look for a continuation move. All right. So these are some of the nuances. Let me see if there's any questions in here. No, nothing at the moment. And let me see over on Discord, YouTube. No, nothing either. Okay. All right, so there's all sorts of things to look for on the pullback. Typically, you do not get liquidity in here. Okay? Typically, it's pretty dark over here on the offer, and there's just no interest in trading. And that's where we really look for it to be not only low volume, but exhaustion up in here, up in these areas in here. Okay? And then basically kind of like this here. And then the sellers will come back in and move the market back down. Okay, and trade down to the liquidity on the bid. Okay, just like this. All right, this is what we're looking for in the order flow on the low volume pullback. Okay, now where this can help you specifically, Laura, is your 1, 2, 3 pattern. I mean, you can almost basically kind of see it almost in here. Here's your trend line break and a retest here. It's not a good example, but it did it. Okay, and then this would be your, well, it's not really 1, 2, 3. I guess this would be 1, 2, and 3 here. Okay, something like that, right? That's your pullback, and then entry could be somewhere around in here. Okay, now this happened really quickly. As you know, you've got some time typically to enter on these trades. All right, and that's in the midst of all this kind of volatility in here as well. Anyway, let's see, where have we gone here so far. Come back, right click on the price ladder, and then see we're on recenter none. We'll recenter on either auto best bid and offer or auto bid or auto trades. Okay, and we're back in. Okay. All right, so we're down at a level here. Now we noted our important levels today. This is coming down into some of the swings here. This is not an important level on the higher time frame. For a kind of an intermediate time frame, though, it's not bad. Okay, we have high liquidity here at 35, and we're moving back down into some of those swings. I would look for a reaction around this area here at these swings. Okay, I would look for some profit taking. I would look for some buyers to re-engage, and then maybe they can take it back up to previous swings where the sellers dropped from, or the VWAP up here. Okay, let me see. Got an example here, Laura. No problem. We'll take a quick look at this. Okay, I want to go through these setups for you guys because these are they're good setups, and they happen again and again. Okay, so yeah, you do see some low volume in here. It is it's not the cleanest. This is kind of a bigger move in here. In fact, this could be, I wouldn't necessarily yeah, this is a little more complex, Laura. I don't think it's you know, I'm actually looking at it in a different way. I would look at it on a smaller time frame, and let me show you what I mean here. Okay, I mean really smaller time frame. It would be something like this. Hold on. Shoot, it's not working. Try it again. Okay. All right. So yeah, you can see a bunch in here actually, but I would say it would be, you know, more aggressive one would be something like this, and then, you know, you're looking for the little pullback in here. right? So it's not this move here, it's this move here would be your low volume pullback. Okay, this here, I'm sorry, this area here is not, yeah, it's on lower volume, but I do see some volume in here. It's really kind of come back up to kind of where it dropped from in here, right? Now, what I don't like about it, Laura, is that we have high liquidity filled down here. We have like a double bottom pattern in here. I mean, there's multiple legs. It's like a quadruple bottom, but like let's just say this is leg 1 and this is leg 2. Okay, this is a bit different. In fact, we can make another pattern out of that as well. But the move here is, yeah, this is on lower volume, but it's not really a lot lower volume. I still see some volume up in this area. Okay, so we're really talking about the trending move and then a pullback on low volume. Now, I know the video we cover it breaking a range, and then once it breaks that range, we're looking for this kind of pullback right here. This is the low volume pullback. Okay, so let's take a look at this one here. Right, so here's our, there's a little bit of volume on it. Okay, but then as we start to kind of widen this out, okay, a little bit of a spike right here. Okay, no question, but it comes back up to where it dropped from, and then we're looking for that to be on low volume. Okay, and then once we see these sellers come back in, that's when we're looking for it, right in here. So we are in a downtrend. We broke this range in here, and we're going down. Okay, now I'm covering this in detail, guys. Like it's again, if you just joined the webinar, let me show you here. It's on the Learning Center, and you can get there from the bookmap.com. Click on education, and then it's this new course that we're talking about here. Okay, supply and demand setups. So let's click on it, and it's this low volume pullback here. It's the longest video in the list here. It's for 4 minutes and 34 seconds. All right. So I hope that makes sense, Laura. Let me see what you say here. Okay, yeah, it's kind of like a, you can even say it's kind of like a continuation pattern, but on a kind of a smaller time frame. Here's another one right here. Okay, this one's much better. Right in front of us. Okay, here's the impulse move. Look at the strong, consistent selling here all the way through. Okay, and then look at the volume here. Okay, now this is an odd thing to see some volume down here, but nonetheless, look at the pullback here. Okay, there's nothing behind it, and let's just zoom into that area. Okay, you're starting to target areas. There's a few different ways for entry, okay, to consider on the low volume pullback. Okay, you can look at some of these areas in here. So these little ledges in here, or impulse move, kind of takes a break, impulse move, kind of takes a break, impulse move. All right, and you can look for, if it's a very strong move to the downside, typically you only get the move back to here, and then you get the continuation. Right, so if you blindly put in a limit sell in some of these areas in here, this is the heat that you'll have to take. All right, so how you get in, and we cover the entry and exit in this low volume pullback setup here. Okay, and considerations for it. There's other things to look for as well. You can look for low volume nodes in here. Okay, even high volume nodes in here. Okay, pull back to where these sellers came in, retesting their metal in here. Are they going to continue to sell? Or are buyers going to try to upend it and continue higher, right? So you can see that there's not too much interest. And then we look for it in here, when you get maybe some exhaustion, and then when you start to see some selling coming in. Okay, and again, it's up to you to manage this, but if you're new to this setup, I would suggest taking some off maybe at the high volume node here or at the bottom of the range, or high liquidity. Okay, so there's some high liquidity in here. We have the kind of zone in here where there's some buyers, and just hit a single, right? Get a feel for it. Have a little bit at risk, but in fact, this can turn into, a pattern that you can use for the rest of your life. And maybe this is all you trade. It's that simple and that straightforward. You'll see in the course how I talk about like the flag pattern with a failed breakout. There's a reference to the low volume pullback in here. Okay, here for the orb trade, reference to the low volume pullback. Also the gap trade, there's reference to the low volume pullback and also the trend line accumulation. Okay, you'll see it in a bunch. I forget which ones have it all. Maybe the wedge pattern has it. No. But anyway, you'll see it. Yeah, here, failed mid-morning reversal, a low volume pullback. Okay, why did I put it in here, or why did we consider that? I'll show you. Okay, because once you start to maybe you're involved in like a wedge pattern right in here. Okay, it's fitting it. There's some volatility in here, but it's fitting it, right? We see selling, we see more selling, we get a pullback here. Okay, and then we see more selling here, a little bit of a pullback here, and we get our break. So there's a potential wedge break in here. We would target probably high liquidity or measured move, and look for those sellers to take it down. Okay, also VWAP here, take some off here. You don't know if you're going to get a bounce, and you can hold. Anyway, why I mention this here is this is a wedge pattern, but here's your low volume pullback within that wedge pattern. Okay, so what that means is once you start to get comfortable with the pattern or the setup in here, you can start to now add into trades. Okay, and this is where you can really knock it out of the park. Okay, this is way more advanced, and it's not about hitting singles anymore. You're trying to hit like doubles, triples, and maybe even a home run. Okay, loading the bases, basically. I wouldn't say a home. You're not swinging for the fences here, but you're loading the bases here. You got a kind of a strategy behind it to get more runners on base to then knock another single to knock them home. Okay, take some more off, look for another pullback, etc. Okay, so that's why I wanted to cover this pattern in detail for you guys. Okay, do you have any questions on that? Let me know. Or any examples to take a look at. Let's see. Volume at 1022 because it was the opening price. Yeah, I mean, that's another key level, as well. Absolutely. Like, but that's a key level, DB. Okay, so if you're talking about the cash open here, down here, and it being a key level, yes, this is something that you follow, and you have data around it, and you're looking for something in here. Great, right? Okay, a caveat in here on this low volume pullback is we start to get up in kind of more lofty levels in here. Don't get caught in the wrong move in here. So I mean, this is another one right here. In fact, now there is some selling. Okay, and what we want to read though is the interest in buying up in these levels in here. Okay, so this is pretty good so far. Okay, impulse move. Okay, a little sideways. High liquidity selling. High liquidity here on the bid. Now look where it pulled back to. Okay, again, right here, where these buyers broke this little micro range here and took it higher. You'll see this again and again and again. Okay, same idea. Like here's that little ledge area in here, or a little bit of chop and back and forth, and the pullback to retest that area. Now, for you volume profile traders, this is going to be almost always a low volume node in here. Okay, and you can see it here, right? It almost always is. Here's another. There should be another one right here, and there is right here. Can you see it? Let me widen this out, right? Because what we have here is chop back and forth that builds out the profile. We have a strong move here that happens very, very quickly. And now it's big volume compared to some of these other areas here, but it happens quickly. Okay, so it's very there's very few prints in here. Okay, so you can see that this little chop in here. You can see this node here. All right, here, let me just draw it up. Okay, there's your node. Okay, so here's your low volume node here. Here's your high volume node here for that little area. Okay, take that across as well. Right, you can see how all this kind of stuff comes together. Right, that's why I try not to cover precisely volume profile or patterns or anything. It's really all about the order flow. Okay, and we're looking for simple setups within that. Okay, now let's see if here's a possible low volume pullback right here. Okay, so let's see. Okay, now I'm looking for sellers. I see some sellers coming in. See, I didn't get them. So and now this has turned into something else. And in fact, I wanted to get involved here and show you guys this is not a low volume pullback. Okay, it is not. Look at the volume in here. This should keep me out of that trade. Now it kind of worked, but this is not the setup, in fact. Okay, so this is where you stay away from it. Okay, good selling. Okay, the pullback in here, this is not bad, but then we get this move in here, and look at this volume starting to pick up. Okay, look at the dots and the size. Now it's also broken above where the sellers took control of this market on this small time frame here. Okay, so keep away from those areas in here. Now that's going to be difficult if you have a limit order in here. Okay, if you place your limit order in here, you're going to get squeezed. Okay, now other times you're going to place a limit order in here and you're going to get the best prices you've ever gotten. I shouldn't say ever gotten, but you're going to get fantastic fills. Okay, this is the risk that you take. Okay, now if you can see what I did, I put in a limit or a buy stop or a sell stop in here. So I'm looking for the sellers to hit it and follow through. Okay, now it just left me behind, but it didn't get me filled in the market because I didn't want to be in that. And moreover, the limitation of that is I would get filled here, okay, not up here. So the risk reward, this is always something to consider. All right, so we'll look for these again and again, and we'll try to get maybe into some as well to demo it. It's hard in this it is hard in this environment because it's volatile. These are pretty quick swings, as you guys can see, from 54 on up to like 60 here in seconds. Anyway, but we'll look for it and continue to demo it here. Jose, yeah, at 11:02, yeah. In fact, it was yesterday we covered it. It was in the webinar. If you want to go revisit that, let me show you. It's on YouTube. Yeah, in fact, I renamed the webinar here from yesterday because we went over that supply and demand course and live trading setups here. So this is it here. Okay. In fact, let me put this into the chat for you. Just copy the link here, and we'll share it. There you go. And also over here in Discord. Go. Okay. So it's mentioned in the video, there's a lot of nuances to this kind of low volume pullback setup. Okay. And you know, it might be even part of a flag pattern. Doesn't really matter. You know, we're just looking for strong move and then not much interest, and then we're looking for the strong move to initiate again and get in and try to ride that momentum. Okay, that's what's so great about it. Plus, you can see it again and again within the same move, which is great. All right. Well, we'll continue to look for it, but not really seeing much right now. You'll see it in all markets. Yeah, sure. We can adjust. You want to adjust, Emil, the height of the volume bars down here. You see the 1800 in here. This is kind of a guide. At 1800, if I zoom in, it's going to change to now it's 1200. This would be volume of 1200 up to this area here. So it just gives you a reference that this is probably like, you know, 1000 here, something like that on the height of this bar. If you want to make this bigger, expand it, just hover over the number, left click, hold, and drag. Okay, and that's a good idea, Emil, if you want to start to look for these low volume pullbacks in here. Have a little more height in here to check out. Okay, it's up to you. Another good one. I saw it earlier and I kind of forgot where it was, but I also want to cover this from the course, which I just think you guys will find it very helpful. Is this video in here on absorption and exhaustion. Okay, so we saw it in one of the patterns that we were just covering with Laura. Okay, so it's right here on the first image. You can kind of see it here that this move up into high liquidity up in here. Okay, this is absorption. You see the big transactions into that liquidity. Okay, then we have a pullback, and then we get another retest here. Okay, and on this retest we have exhaustion. I don't see any buyers up here, not many, right? Very, very few compared to over here. You can even see it in the bars, you can see it in the dots, and it's really what really matters though is up at the top. Okay, there's high liquidity. No one's interested in tangling with these sellers and this supply up here. So sellers start to come in and they start to drive it away, and we get this kind of, it's a little bit of a trend continuation here because it's trending down here kind of mildly, and you get this pullback. And it tried once, it was absorbed by selling supply, okay, the passive orders. We tried again in here and we just didn't find aggressors. Okay, that's a great thing to look for. Absorption on the first leg, exhaustion on the second leg. Okay, now it doesn't have to be a double top. It can also work for just any sort of retest, even like a head and shoulders pattern. Okay, just look for that absorption followed by exhaustion. All right. Okay, so here we go. Now, this is potentially, maybe we'll look for a low volume pullback here. Okay, now I'm going to kind of, I would splice into it. Maybe I'd put a limit here. Okay, because this is where it kind of went down and pulled. Okay, so now see how I got caught in the limit order? And right where I got caught, we see a lot of buying. Okay, so this is the risk that you take with the limit order. Okay, I would look for, now maybe we'll get lucky on this because I could have been squeezed on this. Okay, because that's a lot of buying, right? So now it looks like I might get squeezed here, right? If I get selling down here and they start to get some traction, I still got the right idea. Okay, but if I get buying up in here, I am out. Okay, I just got squeezed. Okay, now I didn't know that. I put in this limit order before. Okay, looking for these sellers to start to take the market lower. Okay, that is the risk that you take right here. Right, so anyway, just show you so you guys know. So if you want to use a limit order, you can, and you will probably get really good fills, but you're also open to the potential here for the squeeze. And boy, it is just back and forth in here. It's pretty choppy. All right, let me see. Any questions? Oh yeah, so you wanted to go over that one that one from yesterday around 11:02. You'll see it in the recording there, but put the link in there for you. All right. Anyway, now one of the things to do, I would recommend for any of these setups is to start to look for high quality setups. Okay? And what does that mean? It means that we're not, I mean, you can see these setups at, even the smallest little area, you'll see it. No problem. Like, okay, so here, let's see if we get a pullback here, right? No, we didn't. In fact, we're just getting kind of continuation here, right? We even chased it. Okay, this was the pullback. This little pullback right here in microstructure. Okay, here's another pullback. All right, so what do we get buyers here? Okay, let's try it. Okay, looking for buyers to take it back up to top of the range or high liquidity. So we're going with the momentum here. Okay, and I have another one in here which I should probably get rid of. Yeah, let's just cancel that. Okay, so going with now the easy thing to do would be to take some off at the top of the range. Okay, I'll just kind of move my take profit there. Okay, so you can see like this one worked out, and it worked out pretty well, and this was on a micro range. I would be very careful with the micro ranges to begin with. Look for like a better setup on and filter it with a higher time frame first. Okay? But once you start to get really adept at this setup in here, you'll see like you can trade it on multiple markets and multiple time frames, it's a great way to start to add into your trade, scaling in and scaling out. All right, we'll continue to look for it. All right, one of the things that was good about this one here was that look at this consistency in the buying, right in here. Okay, now there was some selling in here, and it's not very low volume. It started to really drop off in here. Okay, so in a little early on that, but you start to see maybe this would have been better right here, or over here. Now we don't know that. We don't know that's going to happen, but anyway, you get the idea. So this kind of momentum move and then some kind of pullback and chop with not a lot of interest, and some exhaustion down here, or maybe, you know, liquidity down in here. Typically on the smaller moves like this, you just see the exhaustion. Okay, this is one I would avoid. I would not take this one in here. Okay, why? Because I see this is not consistent. And now that maybe it would be a breakout trade up here once you start to see that volume mount. Okay, but it's not a, I wouldn't look for a low volume pullback in here. It did it. It is low volume, but I want to see more consistency, and I don't want to see exhaustion. I want to see strength. If it did a low volume pullback here, back down, it would be good. All right, just some nuances in the setup. Okay, is everyone following along here? I hope so. I hope this is not too much. Thank you, Alois. Alois is just all over it. The help there with Emil and moving the bars up and down here, expanding them. All right. Yeah, I don't like this either. You know, this has gone pretty high. In fact, it's high of the day right now. So I would stay away from it. If you really are looking for getting in and you see something in here, these are the areas to consider for that low volume pullback. One is the bottom of this little range right here, which it already did. Okay. Another one would be maybe this high volume node, or look for your low volume node here. Okay, and you'd set your limit order in there. Now again, you have that risk. Maybe they blaze right through it after trading up into high liquidity up in here, right? So here we're taking risk, and this isn't really a low volume pullback. Okay, so I'm going to exit that or cancel that order. Okay? Maybe it works out, but it's not worth it. Okay, just look for the easy low-hanging fruit in these trades. Okay, see, this is, you know, pretty good sell volume, and now what's the reaction in here? Okay, a pretty good buy volume. Okay, so it looks kind of back and forth in here. Now this is what kind of shocked me in this whole move over the last like several days, three or 4 days, is these buy programs. We'll watch it in here, see if these buy programs kick in. Okay, you'll just see this kind of incremental, just continue to buy, just like this. All right, now this is not a low volume setup, low volume pullback. This is looking to ride the momentum of these buyers in here, that they are continuing to buy, and I'm looking for them to continue again. Okay, so I should probably not even get involved in here, but it was just so profound that these moves in here. And watch again. So here I'd look for that incremental buying in here. Okay, they're buying these pullbacks, buying the pullbacks, and it just continues to grind and go higher. Okay, so it's a very different thing. It's not a setup that I'm really covering in here. Okay, we didn't really make it into a setup, but it's just an order flow phenomena that we've been seeing a lot lately, and it's the condition of the market right now. Yeah, it seems like a bear squeeze, or, you know, a short squeeze environment. Absolutely, DNT. Boy, I sure felt it last Friday. But see how, I mean, these kind of buy programs that I feel that it's buy programs. Like we just see this continual accumulation by the aggressors in these areas. And it's just like, here, let's see if we can even zoom in here and check it out. Like, is it consistent, and do we see an algorithmic response to it? Sometimes we do. You know, sometimes you can really zoom in Bookmap and identify. We're at the microsecond level here, and you'll see patterns in here, like, you know, pattern of 3 space, pattern of 3 space, you know, and the continuation. So then you know for sure it's algorithmic activity. Okay, you'll see it. Maybe it's a little. You actually see those kinds of things better when it is an environment that is a lower volume. You know, less participants. You know, you'll start to see those patterns in here, very consistent. Anyway, we have some videos on it. I can show you in the Learning Center. It's under Order Flow Phenomena in the Learning Center. I'll show you. Just go back to bookmap.com, click on Education. Here, let's just do it. Bookmap.com, Education, and then scroll down to Order Flow Phenomena here. Okay, and then you can watch the algorithmic buying in here. Here, how to spot algorithmic trading and spoofing. I believe this is it. Let's see. No, that's actually from JTrader. He saw a nice spoof in stocks. It's here, spoof test and accumulation. No, that's not it either. I know we have it. It's such a good example. It was crazy to see, and really stuck out like a sore thumb. Buying activity. This is it. I believe so. Yeah, this is it. See the green line up here? This is the best offer, but look at the this is an older version of Bookmap, so you know the volume dots setting in here, and this is pre-market, in fact. But they're just accumulating, and then the price goes up a little bit, and they accumulate. This was actually pre-market, but it was an inflection point, an important area later, because price really went up that day and for several weeks after. Go back and take a look if you want. Anyway. This is what I'm talking about, and you can really zoom into these areas, and you can see some of the you know, how they're accumulating in here, and some of the algos. So I'll put this into the chat for you guys as well. We're covering a little bit more than just the low volume pullback. Yeah, well, our job, DNT, you're saying like the squeeze environment, our job is to recognize the behavior and take advantage of it. Right? So, you know, reduce the risk as much as we can and look for taking advantage of it. So like this move here, like this is what was killing me. Was like all of a sudden you'll start to see buying accumulate again. So there was really kind of like no pattern down here. It was just all of a sudden buying starts like incrementally, like you know, buying again, and moving price back up. In fact, it would come back up here on low volume, maybe hover around for a little bit, and then continue back on up. Right. So it made the read a little bit harder, but that's the environment we're in. Right. So let's see if we see it again in here. We can take a position on it, but again, guys, this is not a trading room. It was never meant to be whatsoever. This is in demo. It does say real down here, but I am in my sim account here. You can see right here, this sim account. In fact, this sim account is great because it is connected to our trading journal and trading statistics. Okay, and we can open that up. And I can show you the trades we just took. All right, so here we go here. This is from beginning of the year, a little bit. No, yeah, no, beginning of the month, in April. Okay, go to the beginning of the year, whatever. You can get your your profile in here, or we can look at start date here. Let's just look at maybe last week. It looked like. Okay, so I had a big trade in here, and you can see kind of a lot of hacking around. So that big trade really skews everything. So let's try. Let's try. Okay, so I'm actually down, really, the last few days. Okay, lots of little trades in here. A lot of demoing in here of this stuff. So makes sense. Anyway, you've got the trade data in here as well, the history of them. Here's the trades that we just took. Okay, and you can click on them, and you can see more data. You can even put your image in here, screenshot of it in here. Okay, it's really nice job by the developers. Okay. Oh yeah, so yeah, I had a string maybe of some losses here. Anyway, one of the things with this low volume pullback trade you should see is, and this is a good thing, is your MFE should be higher than your MAE. Okay, now these are a little bit lower here, the MAE, so maximum favorable should be higher. This is why it turns into a high probability trade. Okay, and your risk reward is positive here. So your maximum adverse excursions in here should be less. Okay, you're kind of catching it on the pullback. Okay, well actually we see some of that buying coming back in here. Here they come again. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of sellers in here. Now watch this. Now here's your squeeze, right? So this is, see how you'd be wrong in this environment here on the low volume pullback. Okay, maybe you would get in someplace around in here, thinking like, okay, I think I got it, and you would be right. Like, look at the exhaustion, and then look at the selling in here. Okay, but now we see buyers back up above this area and this area in here. It's actually going to turn into a squeeze, most likely. Okay, so in that case, now we're looking for a breakout of that little area in here, and we'll just take a shot at it here, and see if we can get up into there. And I'll just put my stop here. Okay, and I'm looking for buyers to come in. Okay, so pullbacks and buyers. And if we don't see it, we're out. Okay, we're out. Right, now that's again, this isn't really a setup. This is just a testing this environment in here. Do we see this? Is it starting to unfold like that? Do we see that behavior in that accumulation in here by these buyers in here? Yep, there they are. Okay, so let's see if we get it again. There they are. All right, let's see if we can get a squeeze now. Okay, at least this is better, that we can trade back to the top of the range here. And we're not finding them. Okay, let's see. We're looking for them to start accumulating in here. Again, you can see like we're not looking for a setup in here. We're just kind of testing this environment here in demo, right? Do we see that behavior, right? And then how are we going to manage it? And just getting a feel for it in here. Okay, so now I'm looking for, they better come in here now, else we're just exit the trade. Okay, so now we see the selling, we see high liquidity in here. Okay, now do we see some buying out of that area? Okay, there's some. All right, now let's see if we get, if now do they start to turn on? Looks like it. Let's see, there's a pullback right there. And this is not a low volume pullback on that. I would not look for it. I would look for the trend to be established already. Okay, so this one's not working out. We're out of the trade. Okay, we should have gotten out earlier. Okay, now you can see took a loss on this. Ooh, did I take a, yeah, okay, I'm flat. Took a loss on this. There's no setup. You know, so we're looking for a setup, and we're looking for something on a higher time frame at a more important level. Okay, and taking these kinds of trades in here can just you know, bash your account. No, this is yeah, exactly. Our job is to DNT is to recognize the behavior and take advantage of it. Yep. So, I mean, just reiterating this point in here about setups. Like, wait for the setup. Take the setup. Take a good setup. I would not take this move here. I would not take this on a low volume pullback. In fact, I was trying to demo that we can watch the squeeze happen in this environment. It didn't play out. In fact, maybe the buyers are getting squeezed here to the downside. Okay, but we're looking to take something that is higher probability, and we wait for our level. We wait for our setup. Even before our level or our setup, understand what is moving the market. And again, I know this is, you all know, this is nothing new. We all know these things. We're just kind of covering and reiterating and reinforcing some of these ideas again and again. Okay, and reinforcing it in the live market. And that's what this order flow webinar is all about. Okay, it's like understand the supply and demand, understand the participants, the passive and aggressive participants, to give us some insight, okay, within the market structure here. Okay, would this be a low volume pullback? No, no way. No, not a chance. Look at the volume in here. This selling compared to this buying. Okay, worked out. Does not matter. This is not what we're looking for. We don't know. Could have easily been squeezed right up in here. Okay, so now we're getting, this is a more interesting level down here. Still not the greatest, but we've got a couple different things happening and a potential double bottom in here. Okay, we have high liquidity actually and some absorption on the second leg. This is different than what we're, it's actually maybe some exhaustion here on the first leg and absorption on the second leg. This is a little bit rarer. We don't see that as often, but it does unfold. Okay, but the level here is where these buyers came in. Okay, and it's a high volume node. You can also see this is where those buyers move that market. Are they supporting it? Is there still demand down at this level? Okay, or lack of selling? Okay, it looks like there's some demand. Right, so here come the buyers. All right, and that's enough buying in here. Again, I'm going to look for these buying algos here to kind of turn on. There they are. All right, I'm just going to demo it again. This is a horrible entry, top of the range, right? But just let's see if we get it here, because now we've explored. We have traded down to these levels in here. Okay, are we ready? Do we see enough buying come in for them to take it higher here? Let's see. Okay, probably back and forth in here. It's not. This is not the greatest level. It's a much better level down in here or here. Hey buyers, are you interested? Let's see. Okay, target would be top of the range here, or where this liquidity is here. Let's front run it. Again, this is not a setup. Okay, interesting behavior. I mean, like we're not quite seeing it like we saw it before, where those that incremental buying really was starting to move. We saw it in some of these areas, but up here we don't get it. This is not what we've seen the last few days. Okay, this is a little different now. Okay. Actually, it's not, it's a little different. I would look for it here and for the buyers to try to take it back up into these areas here. But what we've seen though is them buying kind of the lows in these areas here. Okay, so actually let's see if we can get that. Okay, so and then let's see. We're assuming now, okay, that at some of these lows in here, okay, we're going to get our buyers, but we're not going to get too many up here. So let's see if they can come in. Let's see if they take these guys on here at 61. No. Okay, high liquidity getting filled on on bid. Okay, now is this low enough to try to accumulate? Got VWAP down below here as well. Okay, starting to find some buyers. Looks like some absorption there though. We saw this flurry of buying in here, but didn't take it higher. Right, so we're still seeing some sell side on over here. Some buying interest, but some sell side. It was not able to go higher. Okay, now one thing we know is there's going to be some VWAP traders trading off of VWAP here. Okay, so maybe that's where we'll find our buyers. Also, let's not lose sight of the bigger picture. Come back to that. Okay, so this is kind of where we left off in the webinar. Look, just kind of like this here was a swing high. Hold on, am I even getting data? Okay, so yeah, this is what we saw earlier, and then this, I don't know, this doesn't look right to me. Quite trust these charts. Okay. Let me see if there's any questions in here. How do you customize anchored VWAP to take the default VWAP? Sure, no problem. We'll go over that. Okay, so now we are low enough in here now to find some buyers. We did not hit that VWAP. Okay, kind of surprising. We know we're going to get some traders off. Typically, you VWAP traders know that we usually get some buying in here. Williams, this is incredibly helpful. Thank you. I feel bad. Like we were going over pretty well setups, and now we're just kind of experimenting with some of these positions in here to kind of see if we get some of the order flow phenomena that we are anticipating, and that's not probably a good idea. But you know, it does put this into light, though. That's why I continue to do this and start to understand. Okay, you know, why and what is it we're looking for, and then if it doesn't pan out, we probably should have gotten out. I think it's one of these areas in here we thought yeah, we should just be getting out, but I held it. Okay, well, let's see if we get something off this VWAP here. I like it because the VWAP is below some of these swings here. Okay, so I am looking for maybe a stop run, and I am looking for maybe some buyers to take it at that point as well. All right, let's see. All right, so now let's look for a pattern off of VWAP. Okay, now if we get a sell pattern, we're going to have to reverse, flatten, reverse here. But if it's a buy here, let's look for something off of this area. So number one thing to look for is high liquidity getting filled on the bid. Okay, we're looking for passive buyers first, then we're looking for aggressive buyers. Okay, second. Okay. So do we get that? Okay, we have some passive buyers in here, but it's not very much. They're down here. They're at 52. They're at 51 and they're at 50. Okay, now these are the aggressive buyers in here, and now they're coming in, right? And look at our relative volume in here. So we found some VWAP traders in. Okay. And in my mind, to be honest, this is these kinds of VWAP traders you're finding in here moving this market higher. This is retail. I don't know that, but I just didn't see a lot of passive buying come in here. Okay. I like to see this kind of flow and shift and change from passive buying to aggressive buying. Okay. And a lot of times we see another retest right back down and maybe even go below here, hit some of that high liquidity. Then we see aggressive buying come back in and start moving. Okay, is this a low volume pullback? Nope, it is not. Okay, this is you would avoid it. It traded back down to this little area here where it impulse move, little sideways, and then you can see it is pausing there, and we don't know which way it's going to go right now. Okay, there's buying and selling both sides here. Customizing the VWAP. Alois already got it answered. Okay, thank you, Alois. I can demo it as well. Let me check over here in Discord. Has there been any questions coming in? No. Okay. All right. Anchored VWAP. Come up, click on the configure add-ons, and find anchored VWAP. Click on that, and you can give some feedback. Please give some feedback to our developers. And I already have a line in here, but let me show you how to do it. You can create a new one. Okay, now you want this to go back all the way to the session start, then just click on this one right here. Okay, so let's do that. Right, so I'll click on that, and it has created a new one. It's green. You can see up here the red text. It is loading. Okay, now this is from session start, so it's a little different than the anchored or the VWAP we had that we know is filtered for the cache open. So you just open up these areas in here with the arrow. Okay, so click on the arrow, and you can see I have it filtered here for actually back on the 11th. It does not matter. It will reset at 9:30. Okay. All right, guys. So look at this pattern in here now. This is starting to kind of work out. Look at the buying. Okay. So now we can look for some low volume pullbacks now. Okay. We have a trend line break. Okay, so this could be your 1, 2, 3 pattern or inverse head and shoulders pattern in here, and you can look for now your low volume pullback maybe to here. Okay, at 60. So it's actually kind of already done it. You can see here it's kind of hard. That would be hard to catch. Okay, this is the one I would avoid. This one as well, guys. Don't worry about it. You know, there's plenty of opportunities on this pattern. Okay, plenty, but I would avoid this one here. I just don't see the consistency on up here. Right after trading into high liquidity and not much follow through on the buy side up in here. That's why I would avoid any low volume pullback in here. Right. Okay, doesn't mean that you know, we've seen this a million times how we have the low volume exhaustion in here, but then buying comes back in just like this, kicks it back up. Okay, and now our horrible position in here is starting to see buyers take it back up to this area. Let's see if they can take it into the high liquidity up here at 70. Okay, this might even turn into continuation move of the day. Right. I'll get back into the anchored VWAP in just a second here. Right, I'll just leave that target in, and we'll see if we get filled here. I would look for it because we see some nice strong momentum here. Anchored VWAP. Let's go over that, and I see another question in here, so we'll go through it. All right, so you can see the green line in here. Let's go back to our anchored VWAP, and here it is here, and we can click on this and open it up. You can start it whenever you want in here. Okay, now I started it at the session beginning of the data that I have in here. Okay, so that's what we have in here. Or you can see like from the 30th of March. Right, so this is going to include everything. So if I zoom out, you know, this is where this one started here. Okay. Okay, so this is when I started my book map this morning, right? Select this line, and well, anyway, it looks like it's right around in here. And there it is. Okay, and now let's take a look though. See the green line, right? And we click the session start button. Now if we come back in here and take a look at the anchored VWAP here, okay, this is when the gray line in here. Okay, see 9:30 cash open. This is where it's set. Right, so it reset right in here. So the gray line is off the cash open volume. Okay, the green line is not. It's off of everything I have since I opened up my book map. Okay, so all right, so what happened in here? Okay, we didn't come up to the high liquidity, we just came up to the swing right here. Okay, knocked some stops out probably. and now we see selling coming right back in. Now we have some volatility in here. Now this is the volatility in here, time of day. Okay, why do we see this kind of move in here? This is the European close. Right now, we'll see. Are we going to see buyers support it here, or are we going to see sellers drop it through this area in here? This is not a low volume pullback at all here. Okay, look at that that buying or selling in here, and look at the buying over here. Okay, so this is just back and forth. Right. Anyway, back to the anchored VWAP. If you want to anchor it at a specific area, you can create VWAP at a certain time with this button here. But let me show you a little bit more. Okay, so let's suppose you want to anchor it off of. Well, let's go off of this swing here. I don't want to get too convoluted. We'll go from the swing high here today. Okay, all you have to do is right click and create anchored VWAP here. Okay, now it's going to take a little while as it loads it here, and it'll plot it on the chart. Why would you look at anchored VWAP? The reason being is you look for larger players who are going to add to their positions over time. Now, the way that they can do that, one of the ways they can do it is by looking for a pullback to your volume weighted average price. And that is the concept. This one is not behaving very well at all, even though we do see like we go with the swing thinking this is where the sellers came in and moved the market. Okay, but we've breached it. Okay, so we're actually looking for selling off of that area. We're looking for, the concept would be the larger player in here, establish the position up in here. Okay, this high liquidity getting filled and maybe some of the selling coming in. That's why we anchored it here. Now, if you're that larger player, any pullback to your average price here, volume weighted average price, would be an opportunity, and you would sell off of it again. Okay? You'd sell off of it again, and you'd sell off of it again. Okay? Now, you can see, in my mind, like I said, I'm not much of a VWAP trader. There's a lot of people in the Discord in the room here that are. This is the way that I use it. If it has broken it, I don't see that player. So then I would discount this. I would actually just come back up and delete it. I would click on the X here. Okay. All right. And this was another one. I'm going to actually delete that one as well. You can show your VWAP or not show it. You can expand it here again. And we can also expand the anchor points in here. This is the reset. See how I have it here? Reset every day. Okay, so you can see the anchor point was on the 11th when I started this, but this is the reset in here. So and click on the drop down here. You can have it, every minute if you are hyper scalping, etc. Right? Every 15 minutes or every day. And I have it set for every day at 9:30. That's why you saw it there. Okay, you can add another in here if you want to have it reset at every day, but then also every minute or the hour. Okay, so that's the resets, the anchor points. You can delete them here, but then you can also the bands here. Okay, let's just open that up. Okay, so what this would show: one standard deviation, two standard deviations, and a custom in here. So let's put in 2.5. Okay, I was using 2.5 like not too long ago. Due to the volatility, it was pretty good for me. All right, so here we are at VWAP again, and are we going to get buyers off of this VWAP in here? Again, I thought this was looking pretty good, that we had our little head and shoulders in here, and came back up to the swing and has failed. Okay, now, are we going to get the larger players off of this VWAP here? It's already broken it. It's already dipped below it. Okay, but we have high liquidity down here at 50 at the figure. Thank you, Alois. Yep, just like Alois says there as well about the anchored VWAP and setting it for high a day, low a day, or whatever it might be. All right, guys, let's see. If you like this, please hit the like button. We'll go over more and more of this. We'll have questions for me as well. So, for example, the Learning Center in here, okay, from our education link. If you have other questions on some of the course material in here, absorption, exhaustion, low volume pullbacks, wedge patterns, failed flag pattern. This is another good one in here. And trend line breaks and accumulation. Our mid-morning reversal pattern. Okay, we see it during this webinar a lot. Opening range breakout, setup, also gap fill. If you have any questions in here, we can focus on it. Okay, just like today, Laura came in. She had a question yesterday about the low volume pullback. So we spent a lot of time going over it, and there's still more to go over. A lot of nuances, really beautiful nuances in that pattern. All right, guys, thank you for coming, everybody. Hit the like button if you can, and we will catch up with you later today. We have the onboarding webinar, and that's at 1 p.m. And then we have the Bookmap Academy meeting on Thursdays. If you want to come to that and sign up for the Academy, you'll find a link on the under the More button on bookmap.com. If you want to partake in that, where we coach and mentor other traders, then we also will have this webinar here at 10 a.m. on Friday. Okay, thanks for coming, everybody, and we'll catch up with you next time. All right, bye-bye.